I'm sure most of us have had an occasional flutter on the horses, a game of bingo, or even an office sweepstake. But an ITV News investigation has found Wales has a huge and very hidden gambling problem. This week it was revealed at an inquest that 18-year-old Amer Abbas from Cardiff took his own life after losing more than £5,000 through online gambling. There are now calls for the Welsh Government to conduct proper and thorough research into the issue to reveal its true extent. Tonight, in the first of our In Focus series, Rob Osborne takes a look at those who are dicing with debt.
It's a buzz, it's a really big thrill. Your heart just really races. It's like a drug in a way. It's like a form of a drug where you're not taking anything.
Listen to Joseph if you want to know how a gambling addiction can ruin your life. For a young man, he's experienced many lows. There have been few highs.
I lost everything, yeah. I lost my flat, I lost everything. I was in countless amounts of debt. I was with payday loans, sold all my stuff, my personal items. I mean, I was even selling bags of like clothes, like old clothes, to like cash for clothes and that, just to get some money, just to get food in. You know what I mean? And then even with that spare money I had left over, I'd go and gamble it to try and win more money.
Looking back at your life, what have you lost?
At least 50,000, and I'm only 24. If I had £1 million, I probably would have spent that £1 million gambling.
According to the regulator, the Gambling Commission, Joseph falls right into the age bracket that are most likely to have a problem with gambling. More men will have an issue than women, but we don't know how much of a problem it is here in Wales because there are no official statistics.
Experts have told In Focus they are extremely concerned about the levels of problem gambling in Wales. But unlike Scotland and England, there isn't any specific Welsh research on it. So they're calling on the Welsh Government to undertake it, so we know the true numbers here in Wales.
Without this evidence, it's very, very difficult to persuade funders and so forth that something needs to be done.
Winford Ellis-Owen is the chief executive of The Living Room, a Cardiff addiction centre.
Sadly, gambling is back where alcohol and drug taking was in the last century, 50s and 60s. The guilt and shame, the stigma is very, very powerful around this. So we find that the family themselves really are maintaining the illness because they don't want their private business made public, or they don't want to admit that there is a problem in the family. Then they contain the problem within the family. So people are afraid to come forward really and admit that they need help and to recognize that need of help and get the support that is available for them.
The Welsh Government told us that they recognise that gambling can be a serious issue, but that regulation isn't devolved. They said when consulting on the recent national survey, respondents didn't suggest it as a priority topic. They also said we are keen to explore what more we can do to tackle gambling addiction.
Do you think there's enough help out there for you?
I don't think there's enough help, no. Definitely not. There needs to be more stuff 100% out there for people, especially young people, because they got a lifetime of taking your money off you.
Joseph now helps others with a gambling addiction. It's his way of dealing with his problem. But he knows he will always be an addict. Sooner or later, when it comes to gambling, your luck will run out. Rob Osborne for In Focus, ITV News. As part of In Focus, we want to tell you occasionally about the stories that we're working on. And coming up is one of the biggest social issues of our time: housing. We want to hear your stories about bricks and mortar. Maybe you're a first-time buyer trying to get your foot on the property ladder, but perhaps you can't because you're paying so much in rent. Or maybe you live in a part of Wales where you're being priced out of the market because of the number of second homes that are being bought locally. Whatever your story, whatever your experience, contact us. The address is infocus@itv.com.